Excited to be back in action. This was a great week for our program to get some rest, to get better during a bye week. The spirits are still high. The SEC is an absolute beast. If you look at the scores last night throughout the country, from the bottom all the way to the top, it's 4-point games, 5-point games in the fourth quarter. So we're excited about where we're going. And then we also learned a lot from the losses that we've had, but it's one game at a time, and we've got our work cut out with a Texas A&M team that, again, in the fourth quarter, like I mentioned, they were like the other scores that happened last night. It's a battle all the way down to that last 2.5 minutes. Joni, I have a lot of respect for her program. She's had some injuries, but you know what? When you watch film on them, you can't tell. They play hard. She's a great coach. She has multiple defenses, so we've got our work cut out. We'll practice today and see if we can put a good game plan together and get ready for Sunday.
You've had some players banged up or out for whatever reason. What was this week like, just having a chance to kind of reset and rest a lot of those players and kind of get back focused?
Well, it's awesome for me, and I'm sure it was awesome for them too. It is. Basketball's a long time period, so I think I can speak for every coach. You look forward to this point of just the small things. To your question is go a little lighter in practice because obviously, again, like you all know, my goals is for March Madness. When it comes to be at peak condition and healthy. So it was getting in there in the training room, cleaning up some stuff on offense, just having good conversations, and then we'll really get after it today.
You talk about March Madness there. I mean, how important is it, getting road wins like this one against A&M to kind of boost that resume? I know it's a couple months out, but it seems like a pretty big game for you guys.
No, it is. They all are. Yeah, they all are. But it's definitely a big one. I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight Sunday. You got two teams that are coming off a couple of losses in a row, and so it's going to be about who wants it more. And then, like I've always told my team, when you go on the road, you're always a 10-point underdog. You got to have that mentality. The SEC again is tough, so this is a huge game.
Was it good to have a week off after the games like Tennessee and South Carolina so close together, or were the players kind of ready to go again?
Yeah, we're in good spirits. They're actually ready to go. We had that talk after South Carolina. It was a heartbreaker. I thought Tennessee and Ole Miss were all three tough games that we felt like we had a chance to win. And so there's a good energy about my group, which is great for me as a head coach. And like I said, hopefully we can bottle some of the things that we do great. And then after an off week, we don't lose sight of that. So I have to regroup it. But they've been great. I've had nothing but great responses from them, and excited for today's practice.
Curious, with Alana, it's obviously her first season in Starkville, but she's one of the players that probably has the most experience in terms of playing in these type of games and getting ready for March. I guess what kind of experience has she brought in and kind of embraced the role of a leader despite being a new player on the roster?
Yeah, just a positive mindset of understanding it's a journey. One thing that we keep hearing us from right now is we're climbing that mountain. And to your question, she sees the growth of this team. She obviously left with me at Louisville with a Final Four team and understands the ingredients, the chemistry, and just most important, the self-talk. And keeping it together. So she's been huge. I've said it several times. I'm fortunate. I've got two great point guards, but even though she plays the wing, she's almost a third on the floor for us at times. So her role has been so huge for us and the success that we've had this year.
I think outside the Tennessee game, y'all held everybody under 70 this year. The defense has been pretty good throughout. How have you seen the offense evolve over the course of the first few games this year?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Anytime you got a new coach, new language, even though we're playing basketball, sometimes your brain has got to piece it all together. Sometimes you can overthink instead of just playing. So for me, when I evaluate the film offensively, it's just a relax of the shoulders. You know where you're getting these shots now. Sometimes you just need to play enough games to get a feel and a flavor of what my role is and playing off others. So that's when I evaluate the film that true chemistry is coming to life. life. And I think it's a prime example when you look at Annie Hayes' assist. She's starting to get 9, 10, 11 assists. And it's not, when you look back on the film, like, oh, she's just now passing. It's now her teammates feel comfortable in the offense and they're making shots. She's been delivering the pass. So it's coming together and excited. And again, I think what makes me excited is the balance. When you look at it, it's not, you got to guard this one kid or you better just stop this. There's great inside-outside play, which gives us a chance, not in and not out.
And on the defensive side, not many teams have been able to hold South Carolina down. We saw last night they were down early against Kentucky. They ended up winning that by, I think, almost 30, 90 points or whatever they had.
Yeah.
What were y'all doing and what have y'all done defensively that you think has been so effective for y'all to be as good as you've been?
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Coach Jans. I mean, he always says that you either dog, you dog food. So just having that dog mentality for 4 quarters. And that's kind of the mindset that we've had. I talked about in the South Carolina when we start each quarter. I said, "What's the score, y'all?" And they're like 0-0. And I said, "You're darn right, because that's what you got to do in this league if you want to win." So they're bought in. I've got great athleticism. I've got kids who've got unbelievable instincts, especially in steals. Jacayla Jordan, Annie Hayes, Alana Smith, Asian A, their ability to play passing lanes and react to the ball make us a great defensive team.
Kind of a follow-up on Robbie's question earlier. Any update on Romani and do you expect to see her this weekend?
Yeah, day to day as of today.
Anything else, Coach? Conway?
Just real quick, I know there was the announcement yesterday that all 3 of your incoming recruits were named All-Americans. Can you talk a little bit about the talent you see coming in?
Yeah, they're nominees of right now, so that's what happened, yes. But no, I'm excited about them. Again, in my first class, for them to believe in this program. If you follow, I know our fan base has done a good job. They tag me on a bunch of stuff with our kids. Those signees, to your question, are having success. So there's no greater joy for me and our coaching staff that when you recruit somebody, the most important ingredient for any high school kid is you stay hungry. Because it's easy to naturally drop your guard and say, well, I'm going there. Shoot, we're good. But those kids who are coming in know the expectations I have for them next year, and they're still competing and performing at a high level, so I'm extremely excited about the future.